6 reasons why you should not buy SpaceX Starlink. Let's go check them out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of Dark Temptation. So good, guys. I have it still out there, Dark Temptation from the holidays. I was going to get rid of it and only keep it for the holidays, but people just absolutely loved it, so it's still out there. So good, so good. Give it a shot. Try it out. Anyways, I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a technology day. A lot of people have been asking me this question, and I've been using SpaceX Starlink for the last 28 months, so I'm going to give you 6 reasons why you should not get SpaceX Starlink. And then I'll probably do another video on reasons why you should, so that you get a nice balance between the two, right? Some people are like, oh, you're like a fanboy for Elon Musk and all of his stuff. And it's like, I'm really not like that. I will tell you the truth about all the products I ever cover on this channel, as well as SpaceX Starlink. So before we get into it, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks, check them out. They are 100% free. Go to JCristina.com/books. Also, if you enjoy this content, even at least throw it a thumbs up. That'd be very helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not, and if you are, thank you very much. Click this little button over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you will be notified of it immediately. And if you want to say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little thank you button over there. Click on that, give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, that's perfectly fine. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. Also, if you're looking for more Starlink coverage, I put together over 240 videos, helpful how-tos, what to buy, what not to buy, why. This channel is always about the why. I'll put a link over here, but just go and check out my Starlink playlist. You can find it on the channel, youtube.com/JCristina. So let's get right into this. Once again, these are 6 reasons why you should not purchase SpaceX Starlink. So number 1 would be the cost. If you are maybe one that has a problem with something that is not $20, $30, $40 per month, well, this is probably not going to be for you, because the actual service itself is about $120 a month if you want residential coverage. It goes up from there if you want to be able to roam with the dish or if you want global coverage. But for basic residential coverage, it's $120 a month. And you need to buy the kit to start out with. That kit is about $599. Call it $600. So it is not a cheap service. So this might not be right for you, once again, if that kind of price is a little bit out of your budget. There is cheaper services out there. You got 4G, 5G. Of course, you got AT&T's trash DSL. You have their U-verse. You also have cable and fiber. If you can get cable or fiber, right? I should have said this from the beginning of the video. Shut the video off right now. All right. Just go get cable and fiber and call it a day. All right. You don't need Starlink. Go get your cable and fiber. You should be good. Now, if you can't get cable and fiber, this video will probably be helpful. The next thing is location. If you have 5G or LTE or 4G or maybe some type of burial service where you have cable or fiber, well, your location really doesn't matter. As long as the tower is close by and the wire can be fed to your home or office, you're fine. But when it comes to satellite coverage, it doesn't matter if it's internet satellite with Viasat or HughesNet or Starlink that we're talking about, or even with your TV satellite networks with Dish Network or possibly even DirecTV. Satellite coverage in general needs an unobstructed view of the sky. Obstructions will not work. It will either impede you altogether and you will not have coverage at all, or it will slow down your service. Either way, it's not a good thing. So if you do not have a location where you can place your dish that will have an unobstructed view of the sky, Starlink is not going to be for you. The next thing is static IP or port forwarding. If you have a device that requires a static IP address or to be able to do port forwarding, SpaceX Starlink will not be for you. Now, is there workarounds? Yes, and I cover them in videos. Once again, go check them out. But for the most part, it is not going to be for you. The reason being is SpaceX Starlink uses what is called CGNAT, which stands for Carrier Grade Network Address Translation. translation, meaning that your IP address might be the same as my IP address. They have a small pool of IP addresses and they use the same ones, but with that carrier bit, I'm not going to go into why or how it all works. I did a video on that also in the past. But the bottom line is they do not have a means of giving you a static IP address or provide port forwarding. So in that case, Starlink would not be for you also. The next thing is latency. People don't talk about latency as much as they do speed. How fast is it? Well, even if it's extremely fast, if the latency is extremely high, a perfect example is HughesNet and Viasat. They're getting pretty quick when it comes to the speeds, but their latency is off the charts. Why? Because their satellites are at 36,000 kilometers off the planet, whereas SpaceX Starlink satellites are at 550 kilometers. 550 to 36,000. Major difference. So latency is a big thing. Now, latency with SpaceX Starlink is by far better than HughesNet as well as Viasat, but is not as good as fiber or cable. Once again, if you can get fiber or cable, shut this video off and go get it. So right now we're getting anywhere from about 40 to about 60 milliseconds. It's not bad. But for a reference, fiber will get you about 1 millisecond to about 10 milliseconds. So we're sitting at about 40 to 60 milliseconds. That can adversely affect you if you're doing any type of first-person shooter gaming, or if you're doing some type of video conferencing. There might be little stutters here and there. Definitely a first-person shooter game, chances are you're going to get killed. You're not even going to know that you're dead, whereas someone else that has a 1 millisecond ping will be laughing because you didn't even look at him and he already shot you. So the bottom line here is latency is an issue. So if you're doing any type of video conferencing or gaming or anything that requires extremely fast, not fast as far as speeds, but fast when it comes to that latency, your ping, you're not going to want to get SpaceX Starlink as of yet. Now, Elon Musk did say that their goal is a sub 20 millisecond ping. Now, that would be amazing. This is, remember, non-terrestrial. This is from satellite. And to get below 20 millisecond will be perfect. You can do online gaming. You could do streaming. You could do anything with it at that point. As of now, it could be a little bit of a hindrance. All right. Now, the next thing is weather dependency. Weather dependency is a major issue. If you live in a location like California where you get 73 degrees all day long for 365 days a year, well, you're probably not going to have a problem. But if you're like me and you live in South Florida, for example, and during the rainy season, there is a storm that rolls in off the coast every single afternoon, well, it's going to be an issue. And the reason being, just like any other type of satellite service, you're going to end up having either slow speeds or no speed at all. If you have severe weather, rain, snow, a major storm, or anything like that, it is a major problem. Now, this is the reason why I use a multi-WAN setup, meaning that I have AT&T, I have T-Mobile, and I have SpaceX Starlink going all into one place and then bonding them together so that I can do my JC Live shows on Friday nights. Because if I only used Starlink and a storm rolled in, well, you guys might see a little spinning, swirly thing, and then the connection would go dead. That's not good. So in this case, we need to have a multiple WAN setup. And I did a video on that also. Check that out. I also did a video on mesh networks and all kinds of other goodness. Check out that Starlink playlist. Now, lastly, a major issue for a lot of people is customer service. Most people want to know that they can access someone if they're having a problem. And the problem with SpaceX Starlink is, well, there's no 24-hour chat. There is no email address. There is no phone number to contact in case there is an outage. There is no way to communicate with anyone at SpaceX besides their trouble ticketing system. It's a problem. But in the last 28 months, the service has been getting better. The customer service has been getting better. But, and this is the big but,
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
All too often you get canned responses, and it pisses me off. Do not give me a canned response. If I ask you a question, answer and articulate properly in accordance to my question. Do not give me a cut and paste answer. And Starlink was doing that for a long time. They are getting better, but still, even to this day, there's a lot of canned responses that go out that should never go out. And it is definitely a major problem, and I'm sure it pisses a lot of people off and they end up dropping the service because of it. I think that Starlink needs to get a bunch of call centers in place, and they need to have some type of 24-hour customer service. That is a major issue for a lot of people. At any rate, if this has not scared you off and put you completely off to getting SpaceX Starlink, congratulations, because I put together a video. I'll put it right over here. Check that out when you're done watching this one, and I'm going to tell you all of the reasons why you should get SpaceX Starlink. Anyways, guys, I hope you found this interesting, at least, maybe helpful. If you have, throw the video a thumbs up. That would be awesome. And don't forget, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the many years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. Check out my tees and all of my merch and everything. I would really appreciate it. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.